everybody, my name is HIPSTER and welcome back to Miscat Squad. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 reasons to love Max Caulfield from Life is Strange. Our Max Caulfield, our Maxie baby. As you guys know, I love Max. I've played Life is Strange. I'm a big fan of Life is Strange. As you guys seriously do know on this channel, there's a ton of Life is Strange content. But I never did a top 10 reasons to love Max. Number 10 is definitely because of Max's insecurities. Now, as we all know, Max is very insecure, not only about her work, but about herself as a human being. She is so insecure that she feels as if, you know, she can't do anything right in her life. There's a lot of fiction out there, there's a lot of games out there, which do not do this perfectly. Life is Strange did this perfectly because they like to show that people do in real life have problems, and in real life, in fiction, that people still have these problems. But number 10 is definitely because of Max's insecurities. It just makes us feel as if she is so real. Number 9, hello, this is a given. Max is definitely, hello, a good friend. Now, as we know, let's sit down. I need a drink for this one. I need some wine for when I'm talking about this. Now, if you did not, let me just say this. If you did not freak out over the train scene, you know, that scene when the train was about to kill Chloe, our Chloe baby, when she's just laying back like this on the train tracks, they're talking, they're having a good time. If you don't freak out, even if you do hate Chloe, if you don't freak out over that scene that this poor teenage girl is about to get hit by a freaking train, there's something wrong with you. Max is a good friend, good enough to put up with all of Chloe's shenanigans, all of her hella shenanigans. Not only is she insecure, not only does Max have so much like anxiety and stress, but when you got a friend like Chloe, who you get really close to, who's been your best friend like forever, what's gonna happen? If she's about to die, what's gonna happen? You're gonna freak out. So the thing is a lot of people drop people like Chloe because they feel as if they are too broken for them to handle, or too sad for them to handle, or oh my gosh, this girl is just too freaking hella wild. Sometimes people drop friends like that, which is never right, which is never freaking right, because you should never drop anybody with a problem. And as we know, Chloe does suffer from depression. With Max being able to put up with Chloe, I give that girl a freaking fist bump all around, because that's a good friend. That's a freaking good friend. Another good example is literally, let's talk about this, Kate Marsh. She's there for Kate. She's there for her whenever she needs her. And yes, your gameplay, maybe you didn't choose to pick up the phone when Kate needed you. Yes, maybe you didn't clean off the slates. Yes, maybe you didn't save her falling off from the building. But in actuality, whichever one you did choose, whichever fate Kate did get in your gameplay, Max does care. Max blames herself. Like, literally, she's a good friend to everyone. She's insecure, she's shy, she's quiet. She's that quiet girl in the corner. That's Max, that's who she is. And yes, she has to come out of her shell. And even Dana was like, you came to Blackwell to come out of your shell. You came to Blackwell Academy to become a different person and find yourself. She wants to discover who she is, but at the same time, she wants to be that friend to everyone. She cares about Juliet when Zachary was sexting Victoria. She cares about all of that. She cares about them, truthfully, honestly. Even if they don't so much care about her, she has the guts and the balls to just go up to people and just be like, I am here for you. So there's a doggy here because I'm babysitting this doggy. Hello, Pooch. So with Max, it comes from her heart. She is very humble. Max is humble because she puts others before herself, before her work. And sometimes that could be her greatest downfall, but also it can show how great of a person she is. That dog just sneezed. Number 7. Now, number 7 is definitely going to be she has a good heart. As we're saying, she's humble, she puts others before, but the reason she has a good heart is because she doesn't judge people. There's a lot of characters in this series that do have a lot of problems, and instead of judging them like a lot of people would do, she takes the time to understand them. Like, even Nathan. Now, let's think about this. Now, of course, like, when you see somebody waving around a freaking gun in the bathroom, when you're just minding your own freaking business, and then you see somebody shoot somebody, you obviously think, okay, bad guy right there, okay. But throughout the entire story of Life is Strange, Max begins to understand why Nathan was the way he is. And because of her rewind powers, it kind of happened for a reason. So she's that very understanding type of character where she doesn't judge. She doesn't judge anybody, even with Chloe. Let's think about that. While everyone else was calling her punk and rebel, while everyone else was doubting Chloe, while everyone else was giving up on Chloe, not so much Joyce, but a lot of other people, who took the time to understand that girl? Who took the time to really take her back and save her? She kind of became, again, like how I was saying, is Rachel became Chloe's savior. Max became the savior in Chloe's time of need. Max came back for Chloe because it happened for a reason. And she is that good friend who, despite all odds, despite even if Chloe is like using things against her and like holding things over her head, like, oh my gosh, like, yo, hey, you left, this is why I'm like this, or hey, hey, you did this, so this is why I'm doing that. That's another reason, because Chloe's very immature and is very misunderstood and very angsty. That's another reason why people have to understand her. Max took that time. She takes it. And she's like, you know what? I understand. Number 6. Now, okay, this is also a given. Like, a lot of these are givens, but I have to mention this. I love Max Caulfield's photography style. Now, okay, the first time I saw the game, like, this looks very teenish, very hipsterish. It has that type of slice of life feel to it. But then when I started seeing Max's, like, photography, I'm like, this is very artsy too. Like, this game is so artsy. It's a masterpiece. How much hard work and dedication went into this game. Her style, it shows so much emotion. Max is somebody who really can't spread her emotion to somebody, can't really tell them how she feels. She takes pictures. She takes pictures to express herself and to tell a story. She uses the photography as a way to express herself, as a way to tell people how she's feeling. Number 5. Now, this goes back to her understanding people, of her having a good heart, but this is definitely because Max Caulfield, our Maxie baby, really finds the good in people instead of finding the bad. There's always two sides. There's a negative and the positive. And Max, even though she is negative to the max, no pun intended there, she finds the good in people. Like, she understands these people. She understands Nathan towards the end. She understands Victoria. She understands David. And she understands Chloe. She understands everybody. But instead of looking at the bad in people, she looks in the bad in herself. Like, Max is that character where she's like, everything about her is negative because she feels that she's insecure. Like, she tries to solve problems by showing people that it could be good. It doesn't always have to be bad. And you can never always just solve things with good. Now, I'm not saying that you can't always solve everything with kindness, because some things you can't. And this world is so freaking screwed up that sometimes you need to be angry. Sometimes you need to see the negative and to embrace that negativity. But you can be positive by a lot of things. You can see the good in people instead of just always judging them and jumping to conclusions that they're always a bad person. Number 4, now, okay, this is fun because I always like to mention this into some videos. She has awesome style. Now, I love the hipster style. Like, I, for one, love it. I love seeing people dressed as that. I love seeing people make art like that. I love hipster music. I love everything about it. So when I see Max dressing like that, I'm like, yo, girl, I love you. She has a great style. Like, come on, her t-shirts, I want to buy all of those t-shirts. If you guys know where I can find some Life is Strange merch, just link it down below, because I want to get those Life is Strange t-shirts. I want to be walking around and be all like, yo, I have Max Caulfield's t-shirt on, and I'm not afraid to express that. Like, really, like, you shouldn't be afraid to express yourself anyway, no matter what you wear. Like, I will walk around with this Zelda t-shirt wherever I go, because fan of Zelda, right over here. Okay, number 3 is definitely now, okay, as you know, I like to react. Like, I'm a big, huge reactor. I react to the little things. I cry over even the tiniest of the little things. Like, even in the junkyard, I cried over seeing that poor lost doll that was just there in the junkyard. And I was all like, Toy Story rep. What I love about Max, now this is kind of the irony of that, what I'm saying here. I love about Max is how her reactions are very small. It's not huge. Like, she doesn't have huge reactions like we would. Like, here we are. Oh my God, she has time travel powers. Oh my, what the hell? Like, we are screaming about it. We are freaking out that this girl has the ability to time freaking travel. We're freaking out about that, okay? We are. But she's not. She's like, whoa, okay, I guess I have powers. And you're like, girl, you gotta freaking react more. You gotta freaking react that you have freaking powers. Like, we're freaking out. Why aren't you? But I love that about her because it shows her character. It shows her personality. She reacts to things like when they're really big. She has emotion. But again, Max isn't one to really, like, kind of emote herself. She's not one to push forward her emotion. Number 2, she always thinks twice about a situation. Now, no matter what it is, it's like, even when you're freaking at the Two Wheels Diner, you gotta think twice about which one you're gonna get, which breakfast you're gonna get. You either get the omelet or you get the freaking waffles. She kind of thinks twice, and we give the choice to think twice about what she's gonna do with her life. And it's like she does it at that pause and that moment of calm, even like when she's just sitting down. It's like she's like saying, hey, maybe I should have done this instead of that. Number 1 is definitely, now this is another one. This is a biggie. This is a big one. She's afraid. And that goes back to her insecurities of number 10. But number 1 is definitely because she is afraid. And that represents humanity. That shows us that she is human. She's not just like, yeah, she's fictional, but she is human. And she represents how it's okay to be afraid. You could don't be afraid. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, when people are like, yo, you can't be afraid of everything. You gotta walk in with confidence. You gotta do this. Like, yo, I may have confidence, but it's like, I'm afraid to do certain things. And that's human. I mean, some people have no fear. Some people are fearless. And Max isn't. And it's funny because a lot of people hate characters when they have so many fears. But I do love that because that makes them human. And that makes us, as the gamers, think that, hey, we should accept people like this more often. And she's afraid of, like, a lot of things, but she overcomes that fear because she knows there's a greater good waiting for her. So those are my top 10 reasons why I love Max Caulfield from Life is Strange. I want to know your guys' reasons. There's a lot to love about her. And I hope you have an amazing day, stay safe, and as always, Miscats, until the next video, embrace your inner fangirl and your inner fanboy every single day.